I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Janis Kudla.
I'm Jesper de Jong.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I am Francisco Cerundolo,
and you are listening to the Gametolova podcast.
Am I live? Can you guys hear me if I'm live? All right, I'll just start going. So it looks like we're joining this match 30 all on Vondrousova serve, opening game. Let's see what Vondrousova can bring to this match with her lefty serve. And as soon as I say that, she gets a double fault, her first double fault of the match. This match has the grounds to be interesting. Before I get too deep into the match, by the way, guys, my name is Miles David. I'm new to the Game to Love live streaming family. And I'm super, super excited about calling this match. My name is Miles David. You can follow me on all social platforms at Tuned Into Tennis, and I'll be walking you through this match today. Opening game, we have a break for Ons Jabeur, which I think settles her in very nicely to this match because this is Ons Jabeur's first WTA level tournament since the Australian Open, where coincidentally she lost second round to Marketa Vondrousova. So this is a little bit of a get back / grudge match, if you want to look at it that way. So I'm really, really tuned into who's going to be the aggressor in this match and who ultimately gets the win. I think they both have very tricky play styles and they kind of complement each other. So we should get some fun rallies here and there. Ons Jabeur to serve, gets a really good first serve in out wide, comes to net, puts away the easy forehand, 15 love for Ons Jabeur. I'm really interested to see how Ons Jabeur really goes throughout the rest of the season. Honestly, I'm looking forward to how she handles the pressure of being a two-time Grand Slam finalist and navigating the world with a little bit more popularity and everything like that. So I just think she has a very interesting aura around her for sure. 15 love on Ons Jabeur's serve. She misses her first serve, going for a second. Let's see what she can come up with. Pretty standard second serve. Vondrousova smacks a backhand, and Ons Jabeur misses the forehand into the net. If you guys are watching, please feel free to drop your comments of your own in the comment section on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, wherever you may be watching this. I would love to have some dialogue with you and kind of go back and forth with where we think this match is going to go. So feel free to get your comments out in the comment section for sure. Almost a really good crossing shot for Vondrousova. Jabeur holds, and she's up a solid break now. 2 love in this match. She comes out like she's on a mission. That's what I'm getting from reading her aura on the court right now. She's very demonstrative in her own Ons Jabeur way. So she looks like she's really mean business in this match. I mean, like I said before, this is definitely a grudge match. And I don't think too many tennis players, I've heard this as a common trend on the WTA, I don't think too many of them like losing to the same player like more than once in a row. Maybe I'm just accrediting that to Maria Sharapova because she say that all the time. But I think that's a mark of a champion, to know when the next person you beat or you meet on tour has beat you last time you guys played, and kind of have the extra motivation. So it looks like Ons Jabeur has come out super alert. All right, let's look into some of you comments really quickly. Hi, Lamberto. Hi. Hello, nice to meet you from Italy. Italy, a place I have yet to visit, but definitely want to go to for sure. Yeah, let's tune back into this match really quickly. There we go. Hi, Jane. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. No problem lurking. We all lurk. Trying to make sure I can see my there we go. Got it. There we go. Two more break points for Ons Jabeur, 15-40 on Vondrousova serve. She doesn't really have the rhythm on her serve right now. And like I said, Ons Jabeur is just coming out really, really focused. You can tell it in her eyes and her serving stance. And that's a double fault to give Jabeur another break. She races out to a 3-love lead in what, less than 10 minutes in this match already? They're going to show the score in a minute. I'm interested to see what it says. 8 minutes. Wow. Yeah, that's insane. You guys, I didn't okay, I was just about to ask this. Um, thanks is it Manor? Help me pronounce your name correctly. I'm big on making sure people get their, correct name used, at least while I'm on the screen. Um, did you see this I'm reading your question. Did you see the Stan Rune match? I want the part 3 of that beef in the French, please. I honestly did not see like, a moment of that match. I was checking the score because I had to be here to talk to you guys and talk you through this match, but I didn't actually see any point live, and I kinda knew in the back of my mind that, I kinda knew that in the back of my mind somebody said, "Hit the button, Miles." What am I supposed to hit? Okay, let's see, hold on. Yes, I see all the comments. You guys, this is my very first time doing this with GTO, so, um, bear with me, bear with me. We're making it work, but I might not be perfect. How about that? And nobody's perfect, so it's okay. But back to the Rune and Wawrinka match. I think they had words at the French indoors BNP Paribas Open, or not BNP. Excuse me, I'm confusing tournaments, but they had the indoor Masters tournament for the men. They had words, so we'll have to revisit back. Let me star that and come back to it because I'm interested in what you guys might think. All right, Jabeur is going to serve right now to try to consolidate this double break. She's come out firing up 3-love in less than 10 minutes in the match. Let's see if she can consolidate here. There haven't been too many long rallies, which is kind of surprising. I think both of them have, in their own way, like when I think of rally tolerance, I think of somebody like a Simona Halep or a Lisa Mertens who's known for just doing back to back to back 10, 15 ball rallies. But Vondrousova and Jabeur have their own rally tolerance in their own way because they usually use so much shape and spin on the ball. It's just an interesting point, kind of, collaboration to watch. So not too many of those so far in the match. I think Vondrousova is definitely the one whose level hasn't come out super, super firing yet. She does have a small window here to possibly get one of those breaks back. Love 30 on Ons Jabeur's serve. Jabeur's given her two pretty easy balls into the net. Let's see if she can kind of stop some of the bleeding a little bit. Oh, another forehand in the net from Jabeur. Love 40 for Vondrousova. Interesting. If you guys are enjoying this, please feel free to share this link with your friends that love Ons Jabeur or love Marketa Vondrousova or just love tennis, and make sure to give this a thumbs up so I can come back and do more of this so I'm not like a complete amateur. So Vondrousova actually gets one of those breaks back by a pretty sloppy game from Ons JABEUR. So now it's 3-1 Vondrousova. I said stop the bleeding early, and it was more so Vondrousova I need to do that. So at least she's on the board. She needs to find her rhythm on her serve. When I think of her, I don't think of her as having, a potent serve, but I do think it has some good spin to it and can kind of trick up her players. Oh wow! Speaking of trick up, she hit a really, really good drop shot, drew Jabeur in, and really magnificent lob. These are the kind of points I think we're going to see more of in this match as they get more comfortable. At least fingers crossed. 15 love Vondrousova. Nice swinging lefty serve out wide. Approaches to the net. Puts pressure on Jabeur's forehand. Wow. Make sure to join the YouTube membership program at Game to Love too, by the way, guys. It's a great membership. I mean, if you love tennis and you are super, super, tuned into what's going on in Indian Wells and upcoming in Miami, definitely make sure you invest in that. It's a really, really good content membership for sure. 40 love Vondrousova's serve. It looks like she's starting to find her range and a mix of Ons Jabeur's forehand just kind of going walkabout for a little bit. Yeah, Vondrousova's strong serve to close out that game, 3-2. So she's more than on the board now. She's back into this match. It kind of felt just for a second there it was might be a whitewash first set, but looks like it's going to be competitive nonetheless. All right, on a change of ends, let's see what you guys have been saying in the comments so I can keep up with you guys. Because that's the best part of doing this, at least to me. Like, talking to myself gets old. Or at least being able to hear myself talk the entire time gets a little old. So I like engaging with you guys. And there's all kind of buttons I can press and stuff like that. I got to get the hang of it. We missed a bagel, so thought that might have been on the cards for this match, but it's not. Okay, let's see. Press the ons button. Okay. I'm pretty sure I know where that button is, so I can press that one. You asked for it.
It's her, it's her, it's her. We're talking about Ons JABEUR, We're talking about Ons JABEUR.
All right. Ons JABEUR back to serve at the service line. I think that was it. I'm not 100% sure. Hey, Gene. Thanks for joining, Gene. JG57, was that the correct ons button? You're like helping me along as I do this. Which I appreciate, by the way. I definitely appreciate the help. Hey, KC. Good jams, right? GTL brings the jams. I don't need to end it, though. It ends by itself. Okay, good to know. All right, 15 all Ons JABEUR serve. Let's see if she can keep this break. She was definitely putting into sloppy. She put in a sloppy service game to not consolidate that second break, and then Vondrousova put in a really good service game to consolidate, or at least get us back on close to serve. So Yeah, Ons Jabeur started out the first 3 games of this match looking really intense. Maybe she surprised herself that she was, up 3 games early so quickly. Because she looks a little confused just already in this match. Just looking, I'm super big on looking at players, what's the word I'm looking for? Not just their eyes, their demeanor, like the aura they currently have on court. I feel like tennis is one of those sports where I'm really let into what a player is thinking and feeling, or at least as much as they let you in. And Ons Jabeur is one of those players, and that's why I like her. But she seems rattled really, really early. Her serves kind of, all over the place. Her first serve percentage is definitely dropped. She barely gets that serve in. Great backhand down the line from Vondrousova as a return, and she breaks. We are officially back on serve, 3 games all. As quick as Ons Jabeur really kind of grabbed the match by its horn, she let it go that quickly. She looks frustrated. She definitely lets you in. She looks frustrated, and she might as well should be. I mean, you go up 3-love, a chance for 4-love in less than 10 or 12 minutes in the match, and before you know it, you're back even. That's super frustrating. She's gonna have to reset here and kind of find her forehand again because it's definitely spraying. Her forehand spraying for sure. All right, 15-love Vondrousova serve. Misses the first serve, second serve. Let's see what she has. Let's see what she has. Great backhand on the line, return from Ons Jabeur. Forehand cross court into Vondrousova's backhand. Really, really good angled forehand to get Vondrousova moving off the court, followed up by a touch drop shot, cross court forehand by Jabeur, and Vondrousova was not able to stick that backhand. 15 all. That was a great point. I mean, I feel like Ons Jabeur, just for her to, get resettled into this match, she's going to have to slow the pace down a little bit because the pace of this match is moving a little bit too quickly, and she needs to slow it down, like elongate the points, bring Vondrousova in a little bit more. So she's going to have to put the tempo of this match more on her speed if she wants to kind of right the ship in this first set. Her forehand is just misfiring. That's an easy forehand error she gives to Vondrousova, 15-30. Vondrousova. Yeah, these last 3 games or so, her forehand's just kind of lost it. I see you guys asking who my favorite players are, which is a very good question. One of them is actually celebrating a birthday today, so I'll let you figure out who that might be. I'll pin your comments and then we can talk about it after this game here. There's going to be a changeover. Vondrousova has 2 game points, 40-15. She has such good width on her forehand. And when I say width, I mean the ability for her to have a cross court forehand that really gets her opponent out on the outer trams of the court is really, really good. That's one of the benefits of being a lefty. I feel I'm a lefty. I don't personally play tennis like that. I always say that I'm more of a Petra Kvitova left-hander, which Kvitova has angles sometimes, but it's more power and straight through the court. That's how I like to play personally. Oh wow, Vondrousova just had a really, really great. Oh, she missed it. She missed it. Wow, Vondrousova feathered a really, really lovely backhand drop shot and missed the next shot. It was so easy. It was a super simple put away that would have put her closing out the game and going to a changeover. She would have been leading for the first time in the match. Another game point for Vondrousova. I can't really tell. I think it's a little windy out there just because it's Indian Wells and I've been there before and it's just in general windy. But Vondrousova was having some issues with her service toss. She keeps catching them. She gets that first serve in. Jabeur puts a deep return at her feet. Neutral cross court rally here. And Vondrousova gets the cross court backhand winner that barely nicks that back line. If Ons Jabeur could have challenged it, she probably would have. but it's automatic line calling here, so they just go with the flow. 4-3, 4-3, Marketa Vondrousova, change of ends. All right. I said I was going to answer some questions. Let's do that. All right, Miles, who is your fave player? So right now, I think my favorite player to watch, let's do WTA. My favorite player to watch is Coco Gauff. I think she's really, really interesting and dynamic in her own way. I like the way she covers the court and kind of doesn't let too many balls get by her, but still can kind of dictate points when she has time. Like I mentioned, Kvitova, she's not really at her prime, but she's definitely has been one of my favorites to watch since I've been a fan. Who are some other favorites of mine on tour? Well, I'm partial to all the lefties. Gotta say that. Partial to all the lefties. Any righties that I really like? Sabalenka's really cool. My all-time favorite, Serena. I'm adjusting now to not saying her because she's not active, but she's my all-time fave. She's the reason I started watching tennis. So yeah, those are a couple of my WTA faves. Current ATP faves, Carlos Alcaraz. He's a very, very electric watch. So Tiafo, a couple of other Americans. Yeah. Some good tennis going on right now, especially at Indian Wells for sure. This particular day of the schedule is the best, I think. All right. Back to the live tennis. Ons Jabeur serving at 3-4. Now she's behind in this match and gives a cheap point to open out this game. Love 15, Vondrousova. Sabalenka's a good watch. She's a very good watch. She's been one of my favorites to watch since 2018 when I saw her play Osaka at the U.S. Open. Osaka's one of my favorites too, but she's on maternity leave. Ons Jabeur is getting super frustrated. She can't really keep the ball on play, even on her own serve. Love 30. It's way too many forehands in the net, too. Like, she's not even clearing the net and giving herself a shot. Pretty decent serve out wide, followed up with a backhand that goes behind Vondrousova, 15-30. And you can start to hear the crowd really getting behind Ons Jabeur. She's not giving them too much to clap for in the past 10 or 15 minutes, but you can tell they want a match and they really are trying to lift up her spirits because she just looks, frustrated. She's lost the last 4 games in a row, and I personally would be frustrated at that too. So Gene says he's South African, so he's biased towards Jabeur here. Hey, nothing's wrong with that. I feel like that's what the cool thing about tennis, Like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, other sports give you teams and, like mascots and stuff to get behind. But I feel like in tennis, there's literally, there's more than the top 100. But for all intents and purposes, there's 100 people you can get behind, and they come from all across the globe. So, there's always going to be a little bit of bias there, I think, especially if you're rooting for somebody from your country or close to where you're from. That's always going to be a little bit of a bias most of the time. All right, Ons Jabeur has closed the gap 30 all. Let's see what she can do here. This is a big point. She gets her first serve in, neutral rally, slices to Vondrousova's forehand. She's just missing on the 3rd or 4th ball of these points. She goes long with the backhand there, and now it is break point Vondrousova, 30-40. Huge point. Huge point. Let's see what happens. Wild first serve mitts by Ons Jabeur. She was trying to go out wide, but missed it wildly. Second serve. She misses another second ball forehand. Down the middle. Just down the middle forehand going long. Man, that's something. I guess I'm a little biased here in this match myself just because I wanted it to be super high quality, but it's not there so far. Ons Jabeur definitely came out of the gate firing, but Vondrousova was the person not really putting balls on the court, and then it just instantly flipped. She's won the last 5 games on the bounce, and now she's serving for the set. 20 minutes ago, that looked like it would have been incomprehensible. That's why I love tennis, man. 20 minutes and like things just completely change shape. Yeah. Sapphire, because I know how to pronounce Sapphire. I don't know if you ever told me how to pronounce your first name. Is it Manor or Manor? I feel like it's Manor. I'm going to assume Manor. But yes, from 3-0 up to 5-3 down is not good for anybody. All right, we're building a rally here at this love 15 point. Jabeur is making her way to the net, has a put away volley and puts it away. Excuse me, put away smash, and she puts it away. Probably the best point of the match. She needed it. Love 30 on Vondrousova serve. It's the second one. Sorry. Got it. Cool. I feel like you guys that are watching, at least people that are in the comments, you were rooting for Ons. Somebody said, "Why do I support chokers?" Remind me to expound on that because I feel you. I feel you. My person I was rooting for today didn't actually choke, but watching them try to close out their matches was definitely stressful. 30-15, Vondrousova's serve. She's trying to serve out this first set. As in the manor house. Got it. All right. Ons Jabeur has created 2 break points for herself with the forehand cross court passing shot. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Do we have like a 5-all in this set? I think we do. I think we can get there. I admire Ons, but neutral on this. I love both ladies. Okay, that's very fair. Yeah, I mean, I'd be telling a lie if I said I knew who Ons Jabeur was first. Vondrousova came on my radar first, and Ons Jabeur breaks back. 4-5. She'll be serving to even up the match. Yeah, the momentum shifts in this set are pretty wild. Like as soon as you think it's going one way, it's going the other. So let's see what happens. Okay. Manor, manner, emphasis on the end, right? I'm reading you guys' comments. Sorry. We can go back to that Rune Wawrinka match because I think it's a good one. It's kind of, well, you got to take rivalries or whatever intention in tennis when it comes, right? I wish Rune had a little bit of this tension with somebody that was in his age range so we can kind of like see it play out longer because Wawrinka, how do I put this nicely? I mean, not to be rude, but Wawrinka, obviously he's closer to 40 than he is to 30. So he's looking at the last couple of years of his career as opposed to it just budding and beginning. So maybe he's just really trying to give it all he has, for the next couple of years. But still, still a decent rivalry. Anybody saw what the handshake looked like? If anybody saw what the handshake looked like between Holger Rune and Stan Wawrinka, let me know. Rune does indeed have beef with Rude. Hey, Gary. Thanks. I appreciate that. If you guys like my voice, small plug, I host a podcast called Tuned Into Tennis. I think the handle is, I'll put the handle somewhere. It's just Tuned Into Tennis, exactly how you would think to spell it. On Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff. I'm always talking tennis and, no pun intended, tuned into tennis. All right. We're back on serving this match. Ons Jabeur serving 4-5, love 15. Gotcha. As in manners. As in manners. We got it. We got it. We're on the same page. As in manners. There we go. Manner. There we go. Love 30 on Ons JABEUR serve. Ons JABEUR already put it out there that we might get to 5-all in this set. Don't ruin it for me. Man, and this set is only half an hour. I feel like it's been like 17 it's just like 17 momentum switches. Let's see. Is Vondrousova going to track that down? Backhand lob, and Ons JABEUR puts it away. 30-all. All. Did somebody mention something about Vondrousova's tattoos in the comments? I could have sworn I saw that. They are quite interesting. Interesting is also another word you might want to insert for bad, but they're her tattoos. I don't have to wear them. Ons JABEUR has game point here to level us all at 5-all, excuse me. Second serve. All right, second serve in play by Ons JABEUR. Backhand up the line on the second shot. Vondrousova gets it backhand cross court. Another backhand down the line by JABEUR. Oh, it looks just long, but it's actually in. The rally keeps going. And Vondrousova has the last. Ons JABEUR goes into the net with her backhand. It's not confusing. I think I'm just trying to if we were honestly having like a regular dialogue face to face or whatever, I probably would have gotten it like 20 minutes ago. But my mind is trying to like watch the match, engage with you guys, and also commentate on it. So, cut me a little slack, just a little bit. Thank you, Gene. I appreciate that. Ons JABEUR is slapping her leg because she just missed a cross-court backhand. And Vondrousova has set points. I think Vondrousova, like the concept of her having tattoos is cool. I just don't love the way they look personally. I mean, if you like them, that's totally your thing. But maybe because I'm so used to not seeing her with any, that like the sudden influx of them is kind of strange. Oh, that was in. Ons JABEUR saved set point with a really, really clutch forehand cross court that barely gets to both sidelines. Wow. Yeah. Anybody else would have been challenging that for sure. Back to deuce. They're like a kid's scribble artwork for school. Yes, it does look a little scribbleish. Vondrousova's tattoos. All right, this is a very crafty point. Slices as Ons JABEUR comes into the net, knocks off a backhand volley, one of her best ventures to the net so far. Advantage JABEUR. There goes the Tunisian flag. Today's Monday. Okay, cool. Not a bad turnout for I think this is Stadium 2. I believe it's Stadium 2, right? Yeah. At Indian Wells. Not a bad turnout. Kathy, you're right. Lots of players do have tattoos, and I enjoy watching them. I think I came across like Lorenzo Mussetti's tattoo. Like I'd seen the one he had on his shoulder, but like for some reason on Instagram, I think somebody reposted a video or something, and he has one like on his rib as well. I thought that was cool. Back to deuce for Ons JABEUR. JABEUR, you're killing me. If there was a sound for that, or maybe I'll make a sound one day for it. You're killing me, JABEUR. think Ons. Can somebody let me know how many points? Well, not necessarily how many points, but where Ons JABEUR got in the 2022 Indian Wells tournament. I know she's done well here before. I think in 2021, when it was held in October during that really awkward COVID-19 pandemic schedule. Oh wow, Ons JABEUR dribbles a forehand, or the ball dribbles over the net from a forehand that nicks the tape from Ons JABEUR, and she points to the sky because she knows she needs it. Another game point for JABEUR. You guys are getting into the tattoo. Yeah, it is cool. I thought Rabakina had some tape on her too as well. All right, Ons JABEUR, you gotta get the second serve in. I called 5-all and I need 5-all. Then the rest of it is up to you guys. Second serve in. Vondrousova has the upper hand. She's dictating for the middle of the court. Ons JABEUR is on the run with the cross-court forehand, and Vondrousova can't handle it. Backhand in the net. 5-all first set. I think that's called kinesio tape, because I thought the same thing. I thought Rabakina had some nice. I thought she suddenly had a tattoo like on her shoulders, but then as I actually fixed my eyes, I saw it was the kinesio tape. Kokonakis's Kokonakis's thigh tattoos are interesting. Was it me, or was he kind of like shell shocked about playing Alcaraz? Like, I mean, he got 3 games in each set, which is respectable, but I felt like he wasn't really in the match at any given time. And Alcaraz plays later today, by the way, which I'm sure GTL is going to have a live stream for. Which actually, I know they're going to have a live stream for, because I saw it when I clicked on this one. So if you guys are up late wherever you are, or up early wherever you are, make sure you tune in for the Alcaraz match later on. I think that's tonight. Yes, it's after Swiatek. Another good match. Swiatek plays Andreescu later on tonight in the night session. All right, 15-all. Yep, is it 15-all? 15-all, 5-all. Excuse me, I messed that up so bad. 30-love, 5-all. Do you guys ever feel like when you watch like the stream I'm watching right now has no live commentary, right? I'm used to watching. I live in America. I live in New Orleans. I've lived in Atlanta, and I'm a Southern guy. Um, all of that to say, when I watch commentary for tennis matches like ESPN and Tennis Channel, they usually have I don't want to say awkward moments of silence, but then I realize that a lot of people like those silent moments in tennis matches. So sometimes when I'm not talking, I'm like, I wonder if that's better. 40-15 Vondrousova serving. Pretty uneventful service game here. You guys have me looking at her tattoos now. Like extra careful. Lamberto, I didn't plan on getting a tattoo either, but my sister, I have a younger sister, and she bossed up like really early and was just super into tattoos. Not super, it's not like she's covered in them, but she's more into tattoos than me. And when I turned 21, I think she had like 3 already. And I was like, there's no way you're going to have that many tattoos, and I have none. So on like my 21st birthday or 22nd birthday, I got a tattoo. I don't love it, but I got one. Gary, wow. He lived in Peachtree City and McDonough. So I believe those are both. I'm pretty sure those are both south of the airport. And I used to live in a community or town, city, whatever, called Camp Creek, which was like 15 minutes away from the airport. I enjoyed that because anytime I had a flight, it was just like boom. Uber was like $10 or something like that. I'm not on Discord, Manor. I'm not on Discord. I hope I'm saying your name correctly because every time I feel like I'm going to get it, something else happens in the match. Landon. I'm currently in Fulton County. Oh yeah, wow, look at that. I literally just moved. Like I'm originally from New Orleans, and lived in Atlanta for, I'm not good at math, for like 5 or 6 years, and then I just moved home. I guess I just kind of got tired of it. Like I like Atlanta, but I kind of missed the slower pace of New Orleans, so that's where I'm at. It was right. Look, Manor. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Milan. Look at that. All right. You guys are so engaged. I appreciate that. I really, really do. I have to remember that I'm watching a tennis match and you guys can't actually see it on the screen. 15 love, Ons Jabeur, quickly up to 30 love. Oh, look at that. Making Atlanta connections. Oh, Ghosty. Thank you. Ghosty and I have become familiar with each other on Talking Tennis. And I've done some live commentating on that too. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I have to jump back on the saddle and get some more player interviews so I can get more lovely comments like that. I appreciate that for sure. And yes, I actually had a blueberry donut like sometime a week or two ago after having that conversation with her. All right. 6 games all, tiebreak. 44 minutes into this set. I don't think I would have guessed that 20 minutes in. It didn't have that kind of energy, but here we are. Opening point. Man, Vondrousova has such an interesting sound off of her forehand. One love, Vondrousova. Maybe I'm just like hypersensitive. Like my eyes become a little hypersensitive when I see somebody's a lefty, so then my ears become hypersensitive too. But it's just something about the way she times her forehand. It's heavy. It's heavy and it has good spin and depth on it when she sets up for it. It's good to see. And that would explain how she got to that French Open final in 2019. A heavy forehand at Roland Garros will definitely get you pretty far. She's dictating with that forehand right now. Feathers a drop shot across the net, and Ons Jabeur comes up with the even better drop shot. Wow, point of the match so far. Great point. That was a really, really good drop shot for Vondrousova. And Jabeur just slid into the other one and carved right underneath it. She has impressive hands, like super, super impressive. Oh, yes. I've been on Talking Tennis. Yes. I appreciate the kudos, Gary. I do. I really, really appreciate that. Sometimes I'm just like thinking too much in my own head. Like, I wonder if I'm even good at this. So I appreciate that. A little bit of a cheap point from Ons Jabeur. Backhand up the line. She goes long. It's always funny how players like mock their strokes when they miss them. Ons Jabeur is really good at that. Are there any like tennis gear nerds watching right now? If so, drop a comment because I have a question about Ons Jabeur's racket. I just want to know if you like it because the cosmetic of it changed. And while I was in Atlanta, funny enough, I actually used to work at Tennis Warehouse like part time, and I learned a lot there. Um, so I kind of became like an even bigger tennis equipment junkie than I already was. So let me know if you are. I have some comments. Oh wow, Jabeur's gonna want that forehand back. 2-all in a tie break. Forehand to approach the net. She misses it wide. 3-2 Vondrousova. It's almost like Jabeur doesn't get underneath her forehands on the forehands that are approach shots. It's not a bad forehand stroke. She just doesn't really get underneath it, which is strange because she's shorter, but I guess it's in relation to the ball and all that stuff. But we'll see. Second serve, 2-3 Vondrousova. Jabeur hits a really, really good forehand cross court as Vondrousova was approaching, and Vondrousova can't handle the volley. 3-all. Okay, so I'm not the only one. She does have a crack sound on her forehand, and it used to sound good. The ball used to ping on contact, no string dampener. Man, I took for granted Justine Inna when I was getting into tennis. I don't know why I took her for granted. Maybe because she had a really good rivalry with Serena, and I really wasn't rooting for Justine Inna that often, but I had a lot of respect for her game. Um, but I wish I had more respect because I feel like her level of commitment and dominance is so needed right now, for sure. We're getting it. We're getting it in some ways. I can't say it's like completely gone on the women's tour. I just kind of miss it. All right, second serve, 3-all Ons Jabeur. Pretty crafty point. Vondrousova is mixing in the slice. Oh, she gets an error from Ons Jabeur. Forehand, another forehand in the net. Man, there needs to be like a tally of how many forehands Ons Jabeur has put into the net this set. It's quite a bit. I'd say at least 6. Like not even like top of the net where it could have gone on. It just bottom of the net forehands. That has to be from rust because this is her first tournament since Australia. She hasn't competed, and she had surgery on her knee. I believe. I think I heard a commentator, not me, not this commentator. I didn't say that. I just heard another one say she had knee surgery. 5-3 Vondrousova. Center Manarino. You guys, I'll let you on a secret. Center is who I picked to win the trophy, I think. I know it was a Center Rublev final in my fantasy league. I think I have Center winning. Vondrousova gives a double fault. Wow. As soon as she got an edge up in this tie break, she gives it right back. 4-5 on Jabeur's serve. Wow. Who do you guys think is going to win this set? 4-5. I mean, we could be here a little longer. We could not. But I'm interested to know who you guys think is going to grab this set. Jabeur is trying to dictate with her forehand, running around it, cross court. Vondrousova is neutralizing the rally with some backhand slices. Oh, wow. Her cross court forehand is just wide. Now we're back square even, 5-all. Wow. Tension, 5-all. First set tiebreaker. Huge point coming up. Let's see if Ons Jabeur can get her first serve in. Nope. Second serve time. Gene says he hopes Ons wins the set. Second serve. Vondrousova attacks with the backhand, neutralizes the point. Vondrousova was coming over her backhand now and draws an error from Ons Jabeur on the forehand wide. Set point Vondrousova. The chair umpire is saying Vondrousova. I should work on that. I should have, you know what I should have done? The next time I come on GTL, before I come on, I'm going to go to the WTR ATP site and listen to how they say their names. Usually I like doing that because I like making sure people's names are correctly pronounced. But I know it's Ons JABEUR if I want to be a little fancy. And now she's facing set point. Oh, wow. She gives it up. Wow, man. Jabeur really let that set slip. 7-6. Marketa Vondrousova. At one point, Vondrousova won 5 games in a row. Wow. Yeah, I think it was 5 games in a row because she was serving forward at 5-3. Ons Jabeur went up 3-love quickly. Marketa, really dug in 5 games in a row. Then momentum switched to Ons Jabeur to get herself all the way back to a tiebreak. And then a couple points here and there, just those loose forehands, man. That's a good set for Vondrousova, kind of a steal of a set. Because honestly, if anybody would have been walking into that stadium, and saw the first couple of minutes of that match, it didn't look like Vondrousova was going to be out there all that long. But she stole that first set. All right, let's see what you guys are saying now that we had a little bit of a break. Yeah, Ons Jabeur, I mean, she wins in straight sets sometimes. But she has a little bit of that Andy Murray magic in her. She doesn't mind, being out there for as long as she can and making it a highlight reel match. Wow, somebody said if Ons loses this set, it's finished. Why do you think that? Is it because she's just coming back from injury? You think Vondrousova was just going to up the ante? I'm interested in why you think that. Jabeur. Ons Jabeur. Ons Jabeur. Oh, somebody I knew I started that for a reason. There we go. Okay, cool. There we go. There we go. Good question. What is your favorite Grand Slam tournament? So I've personally been to the US Open twice. So I'm inclined to say that is my favorite tournament because it's the only one I've actually been to, or my favorite Grand Slam tournament. But like from a visual standpoint, I really do think the Australian Open is my favorite. I feel like the Australian Open is a tennis nerds Grand Slam. You have to stay up, well, at least from my part of the world, you have to stay up late to watch it or get up early to watch it. And the rest of the world is paying attention to football. So if you really, really know what's going on, you really good tennis. And most people are fresher because they've had a block of 5 weeks or so to, kind of reset from all the traveling and demands of the tour. So I like that one from a high quality tennis and a visual standpoint, because on TV, for whatever reason, that one just, since they switched the colors of the court in 2008, it's been so much easier to see the ball. And the graphics and stuff just look cooler. Especially, I believe they were the first Grand Slam to introduce that that backstop that is constantly changing digitally. I don't know if there's a more precise word for that, but the digital backdrop. I like that. It's super integrative and high tech and futuristic, all that good stuff. It's okay. I don't take offense to anybody misspelling my name. My mom purposely put a Y in it to make sure it was a little bit different. Surprise me. Stop spelling their name like that. Thank you for dropping by. Virtual hug back. Appreciate it. All right, first game, second set. Oh boy, Vondrousova mixed another forehand. 30 all. She's missing some forehands. Advertising screen boards. That works. Sorry, I was a little parched. All right, Ons Jabeur puts a good serve in, 40-30. She needs to come out with the same energy she had in the second set. You know what always amazes me, though? I don't know if it's because of commercials making things just seem a little bit longer, right? But it seems like so much time goes by between sets when I'm just watching on television. But in person, literally in person, it goes by like that. Or when I'm broadcasting like this, it goes by in like a matter of seconds. It's crazy. Well, on television, it feels like a good 5 minutes or so has passed. It's crazy what commercials can do. Can somebody give me an update on the Yannick Sinner match? I think he's playing Manarino. I want to know how that's looking if somebody else is watching that. Vondrousova to serve. Her opening serve of the second set. Second serve. Max. Good question. Do you think Carlos can win Indian Wells? Yes, I think he can. And I feel like not to be like that guy, but I feel like a lot of players can win a lot of big tournaments. I just feel like Carlos gets extra stars because he's been the champion at huge events so far. And it's only been one match on the court, but he looked really, really good against Kokkinakis. So I wouldn't necessarily be floored if he won here in Indy Wells, especially because he got to the semis just last year. So he has some relevant idea of how the courts play, the expectations, the conditions, all that stuff. I guess I have a little reservation with Alcaraz just because of the injury. I mean, it's not like he walked up to his opponent and gave him a retirement in that Rio final. It's just that he looked so hampered. But again, because tennis moves so quickly, and he didn't say it required obviously surgery or any kind of like, extensive rehab. It's probably something that he's able to work through at maximum, or do a little extra stretching and warming up to make sure he's good on the court. So I think he's okay. But I do have a little bit of a worry just because, Alcaraz and the word injury has been something that's been a little bit too close for comfort. So I do think as fans we should, wish the best for our favorite players and as far as their health. And, that's all you really can do. Especially with somebody like Alcaraz that has a really extensive team behind them. They're getting the best as far as recovery and pre-match warm-up and stuff. So it's just a matter of going out there and hoping for the best, honestly. I can't stop looking at these tats now. I'm just making the idea behind them out like a story. Well, I mean, that's an incentive to watch more Marketa Vondrousova matches. That's all. She gave you a reason to watch. Look at that. She has game point right now. Second serve. Excuse me, guys. Second serve. Jabeur attacks down the line. Oh, wow. And misses another backhand down the line trying to be aggressive. Man, she's just giving away some points. Unforced errors are part of the game. I just feel like if she could just tidy them up a little bit more, she probably would be up a set instead of down a set. Well, that's the name of the game. On serve, second set, 1-0. All right, nice 1-2 punch from Ons Jabeur. Vondrousova looked so frustrated with her return. She just dropped her shoulders. Sports fanatic, you're absolutely right. Jabeur does seem a little rusty. Which, she dropped a set in her opening round against Magdalena Freck, right? I don't remember what country Freck represents. Maybe Poland? Poland? Maybe. I'm trying to picture her flag next to her name. But she dropped a set, and all respect to Magdalena Freck fans in the building, but Magdalena Freck is not consistently like a top 50 player. So the number, like a top 5 player, should be able on paper, should be able to handle that pretty comfortably. But everything changes when the dynamics come up of having been in competition for a while and all that stuff. So, and I think Ons Jabeur played her best last season because of the amount of winning she was doing, and that equated to better shot decisions in her game. When a point, they can come over their backhand and vice versa. what that provides them with. There we go. Cool. Sorry, someone's on the internet. If you aren't constantly using those options, and sometimes you can get a little right. Somebody said I was breaking up. Hey, Scrambini. That. Did somebody say knocking the satellites out? Can you guys hear me now? Am I good? I think I'm good. We just had a little moment. I think we're back to good. I can see the comments rolling in. I can see myself, like all that stuff. There we go. MJ, I did want to make sure you guys were paying attention. You got to be quick on your feet in GTL when I'm commentating, okay? You got to be quick on your feet. Azarat, you said, man, all my favorite players are exiting the tournament. Who were your favorite players? Who's exited? Oh, you guys, I didn't see who won that Raducanu and Beatrice Haddad Maya match. Can somebody let me know who won that match in the comments? Emma won 6-4 in the third. Okay, good. I actually picked her to win that match. I know we're watching Ons JABEUR and Marketa VONDROUSOVA, right? And the second set is off to a bit of a scratchy start. Nothing super tectonic happening in the second set. Ons JABEUR. The thing about Raducanu that I guess kind of is no, come on, audio. Can you guys see me again? I think my internet is just acting crazy for a second. Okay, cool. You guys can hear me okay. I'm seeing myself in real time, moving my shoulders. I hope I'm fine. Fingers crossed. Thanks, Max. I appreciate that. But not the tennis court. I agree. I forgot all about Twiatek's nervous twitch. I promise you I did. I forgot that she had that. She's won so much where I really just forgot that that was a thing. Crazy. All right. Vondrousova's up 3-1 second set. I think that's a wrap for this match. I think I picked Ons JABEUR to win this match. Silly of me. Oh, wow. MJ. Thank you so much for that, MJ. That's a great contribution. I really, really appreciate that. That's super cool. MJ, you might be considered the GOAT. If you can hear me, I'm all good. You're the GOAT, MJ. Am I stable now? I think my internet was just like really not happy with the fact that JABEUR is losing this match. Maybe that's what it is. I hate those podcasters that come and never come back. Well, I'm a podcaster, but I like talking about tennis too much to never come back and talk to you guys. So I don't think that's in my future to be a one and done. I mean, now that I've done one match in Indian Wells, I have to do like one more, then I have to come back and do Miami. Like it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I literally just said out loud that if Vondrousova gets this next game, it's a wrap, and she got it. So now she's up 4-1. Yeah, I mean, you never really say it's over in tennis, but it looks like Vondrousova was going to be able to wrap this up. But Ons JABEUR looked like she had a first set in the bag early on in the first. That was funny. Surprised me. Your bandwidth can't take the strain of all your new fans. That's funny. I'll take that though. I've been actually going, but outside of my podcast, which if you're just joining, my podcast is called Tuned Into Tennis, and I have to thank, excuse me, I have to thank Game to Love for allowing me to come on here and do the commentating. I really do appreciate it. This is my first time. If you guys are just joining or haven't really been familiar with my face, this is my first time. My name is Miles. I host the Tuned Into Tennis podcast, where we do weekly recaps and previews of draws and tournaments, a little bit of conversation. But there. Yes, the podcast is called Tuned Into or Freshly Shaven, but if you type in Tuned Into Tennis, that's me and my podcast. Most recent episode, I did a episode interviewing former tennis professional and former WTA top 50 player Mashona Washington. So we had a really good conversation, and I'm going to be uploading some more content about Indian Wells later this week. So you guys check that out. Marketa is making this second set easy. Yeah, she's definitely putting on the burners, excuse me. And Ons JABEUR looks a little dejected. I mean, I think that's part of the that's part of the intangibles that you lose in a tennis match and in competing. Even if you don't do it for like a month, I feel like tennis is doing it, then you're gonna have an issue doing the things that you're best at if you aren't consistently in some kind of way practicing them. And like being able to dig your heels into matches and have the competitive juices and stuff flowing, even when things aren't going your way, like that's a really good attribute to have, and doesn't really always come back quickly unless you're Serena Williams. I feel like Serena Williams had a comeback, she would lose. She would not lose the first match. Like I'm trying to think, and it goes back to Indian Wells, right? So remember when she had Olympia, she got pregnant in 2017, and her very first tournament back was Indian Wells of 2018. I'm a little bit of a tennis abstract person, so if you're like, why do you know that, Miles? I just do. But her first comeback tournament was Indian Wells of 2018, no less. I believe she faced Zarina Diaz in the first round in 2018, and then she beat Kiki Bertens, which a 2018 win over Kiki Bertens was really, really good. So, yeah, some players just have that intangible. When else does Serena have a comeback moment? If you guys remember back in 2011, she came back from a I know what she came back from. I'm just trying to adjust it to make it make sense. It was a blood clot and pulmonary embolism that she came back from. That she picked it up. She picked it up after Wimbledon. She didn't back to the fourth round, which I mean, like a lot of players would kill for that, you know. So, like I said, all of that to say is that sometimes players have the intangibles. Um, you know, sometimes they don't. You know, actually, this something similar happened as to why Venus and Serena actually boycotted Indian Wells. I don't know if you guys know, but last night, Arena Sabalenka was supposed to be the last match of the night session against Ukrainian player Lysia Sarenko. And Lysia Sarenko, like more has come out as to why she gave Sabalenka a withdrawal or a walkover, but she didn't make the decision to have a walkover. And something similar happened with Venus to be. It was supposed to be Venus versus Serena in the 2001 Indian Wells semifinal, and I think allegedly had some tendonitis in her knee, which at that time I think she did have some knee issues. I think Venus, if you know, Venus and Serena didn't play like a full schedule because of injuries and stuff in the early 2000s. But I think Venus waited too long and had a crowd full of people kind of upset that it was such a last minute thing. Sorry, you guys. I know it's a lot of buffering. Sorry. Podcast. I think my Wi-Fi is just not acting hip right now. Thanks, Max. I appreciate that. What was also upset because the way that the crowd booed Serena at the final after Venus gave Serena the walkover the next day, I think there was some obvious tones of racism because like puts the racism card on every single event. That's not me. It exists, right? But I don't think it puts on every single. I'm not sure if any other player did that. That a whole entire the debate right there, like, and the fact that that happened makes you think about it, but it's unsure. But I think the embarrassment that the mother must have felt in that moment to get booed when she came out, I think it did stink of racism to her. Usually my Wi-Fi does a thing where it kicks on and it just is good. Has wobbled in its moment in Indian Wells history, and Venus and Serena didn't come back for over a decade. So yeah, unfortunate. But I feel like Indian Wells has done. Oh, I think Indian Wells has done diligent work to try to rectify that, like in their own culture and how they're presented in the media, all that good stuff. Thanks, Gary. I really, really appreciate that. I really, really do. I really, really do. Hope to see you again before Indian Wells is completed. Have a good night or day, wherever you might be. Okay. I just did something for my Wi-Fi that I think helped. I think. Thanks. I appreciate that. Safe travels. You take care as well. Surprised me. Yeah, I did see some of that. I saw highlights of Taylor Townsend and Layla, and they definitely seemed like they had a whole bunch of crowd support. I just, I think people underestimate how different 2001 was as like where people's consciousness was as an American culture to where we are in 2023. um I got used to this in dollar internet age. This is nothing. Oh, thanks, Sean. I appreciate that. Thanks for bearing in there with me. I know it can be. I know I get frustrated sometimes when I'm trying to watch something stream and it's just like You're seeing the match correctly. You guys, I have not talked about the match in like the past 10 minutes. Sorry. Vondrousova has 3 match points, 5-2 up in the second set. Second serve. Camilla, you're seeing the score, right? Ons Jabeur came out firing, and Vondrousova helped her with some really spotty play. But at one point, she won 5 games in a row in that first set, and Ons Jabeur did well to push it to a tiebreaker. But the second set has just been all Vondrousova. and it's gone by quickly. She has 2 more match points. A narrow miss for Vondrousova. You guys are really funny. I don't care what anybody says. Really funny. Thanks, Max. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I haven't put it in cement with GTL yet, but definitely looking to come back. And with better internet connection, because I have no idea what's going on today. We were doing so good for a while. So good. Did Vondrousova, did she lose all of those match points? She did. Wow. We're at deuce 5-2. She kind of got a little stuck. Sometimes it's so interesting to see players that are doing well in a match kind of tighten their shoulders, and the decisions they make on the court are just so funny afterwards. Back to deuce after having 2 or more match points. And she double faults at deuce. Wow. She's trying to shake out her legs, but she's definitely put in some clunker points the past 3 points. That's crazy. Tennis does that to you. Felix Auger-Aliassime needed 6 match points earlier to close out his straight set win. Let's see how this next point goes. Oh, and Vondrousova dumps a backhand into the net. She definitely is doing a little bit of a choke job for sure. Yeah, that was a nervous way to try to serve out the match. I knew what you meant, Gene. Wow, all of a sudden, Ons JABEUR just has this energy to her. She's shaking her racket and pumping her fists, and the crowd is definitely trying to get this match a little bit longer. Wow, that it's crazy how things can switch on a matter of a hat. MJ, I do like Tiafoe. I think Tiafoe is just missing a few pieces here and there, and just a couple more trophies in his trophy cabinet for me to believe that he's not far off from winning a Grand Slam, especially once we're officially in the post Rafael Nadal and post Novak Djokovic era. I think Tiafoe should have his decent looks at Grand Slam success. I think if he can improve on what I think he needs to improve on, I think he can. $15 all, 3-5 on serving. Another forehand that bites the tape for Ons JABEUR. 15-30. Should I call the match now that Bianca's going to upset Iga? My chaotic WTA brain, or my chaotic WTA heart, wants to see that happen. My respectable WTA mind believe that that's not going to happen, but I'd love to see it happen. Like, imagine if Bianca, got some of her mojo back that she created in the 2019 tournament. She got it back here, kind of like Hantakova. Hantakova did it years and years ago. Like, the only 2 tournaments wins she had at one point were just Indian Wells tournaments. Vondrousova just let another match point slip. 30-40 on Ons JABEUR serve. One more match point for Vondrousova to bring this in on home. She's talking to her coach and stuff now too. She's frustrated. Oh, and Jabeur saves it with a forehand winner. Wow. Wow. Back to deuce. Incredible. Well, game point for Jabeur here. Wow. Nobody really saw that coming. That's interesting. Super interesting. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my seat here, guys. There we go. Wow, Jabeur's even grunting different. The Tunisian fans are loving it. Another changeover for Vondrousova to think about it. At least she had an extra cushion of another break, which is going to serve for it again. What are the odds that Vondrousova gets broken and we go back to 5-all like we did in the first set? What are the odds? Let me know. Hey, Kavi. What are the odds of Emma beating Iga? I think, if somebody could correct me, I think if Layla, and Emma, if Layla and Emma had both won their matches today, I think they would have played each other for again first time since the Indian Wells final. Thanks for checking in, Kavi. I'll be watching that as soon as I wrap up here. If Vondrousova loses this set, then she's going to kick the hell out of the toilet door during a toilet break. Yeah, she might want to do her best and give it her best effort to close it out here. Because if she doesn't, momentum is all with Jabeur. Oh, 15 love. 15 love for Vondrousova. Nice one punch to open up the game. Something really, really strong. She needed that. Another first serve in. Neutral rally. Oh, wow. Ons JABEUR goes just long. I mean, just long with the forehand. 30 love Vondrousova. See you later, Scrambini. I actually have a stream of the match right here that I'm watching, Camilla. Second serve for Vondrousova. 30 love. Forehand, really aggressive down the line for Ons JABEUR. Another backhand down the line. Vondrousova scrapes and gets it. And Jabeur nets an overhead. Wow. Setting up 3 more match points for Vondrousova. Wow. She's got to be kicking herself. That overhead was so slow, literally in the middle of the court. All she had to do was really turn her body and swat it away, and she didn't do it correctly. Wow. 3 match points for Vondrousova. 3 more match points. Wow. I'd be kicking myself if I was Ons JABEUR right now, like completely kicking myself. Up, and it's out. Game, set, and match. Marketa Vondrousova. I think game, set, and match Marketa Vondrousova. Wow. type in something in the comments. Marks, and you guys, that was actually a rematch of the second round in Australian Open this year. Actually, Jabeur lost that match too. So I was thinking Jabeur might have a little extra ambition to get that W. And she did at the beginning of the match, but it didn't really hold her over much, especially with the forehand unforced errors and just really not taking advantage of the momentum she kind of created in that match. So great match to watch, game-setting match to Marketa Vondrousova. So if you're a fan of the Vondrousova tattoos, then you guys had a good day today. I need to meditate. I get it. I really understand. So while you're meditating, I'm going to go stretch my legs and get ready for the next match that Kavi is going to go ahead and commentate for us on GTL here live on YouTube or Facebook or Discord, or excuse me, Twitch, wherever you're watching. My name is Miles David. My handle is right here on the screen. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Tuned Into Tennis. I host the Tuned Into Tennis podcast. There'll be more good content coming your way soon for Indian Wells, Miami, and going forward into the clay court season. This has been my first time commentating with Game to Love. I appreciate them bringing me on, and it's been nice talking to you all guys, and I will see you the next time I do this. So take care. Bye.